Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day. Hope you've been able to catch some of the Digital Stock Summit. I know the first 2 days, there was a lot of good information for new traders and traders that are just getting started and trading with small accounts. And tonight, Tim Grattani was on. He did a Q&A session, and he covered a lot of things that new traders could be looking at, some strategies, some setups that he trades, a lot of good things that he talked about, that could help new traders as well. His live Q&A, it was recorded. It should be up, and it should be able to access it up until 12 o'clock tomorrow if you have that free pass. But that should be very interesting for you if you missed it. I've got a bunch of trades to cover in this video, so I'm going to kind of get right to it. A lot of little mistakes and things that you missed during the day that you miss when you're trading, because you can have all of these plans, but when the bell rings and everything starts flashing, your focus changes. And sometimes you get that deer in the headlight look, and sometimes you forget what your plans are. That's why I like to write them down. But even then, sometimes you make mistakes and you sit back and you watch something and you get mad because you didn't get in when you were supposed to, and then you get in when you're not. So all of these things, I think I went through a wide range in the last 2 days. But yesterday, the first trade I took was Lulu. That was on my watch list, and the ideal entry on this was right here off this level, when it was above VWAP and it was starting to make that push up. I didn't catch it. I actually tried to get in, but I missed my entry, so I waited until it got over this level, and once it pushed this level, I went ahead and got in. And this is very late. I got in at 67.20, and when I got to move up here to this level at 67, I think I got out at 67.64 is where I took the first profit. Then it, as it started to come down on this candle, I got out here at 25, right before break even. So this was just a late entry. I could have used a 5-minute opening range breakout, or just got in over when it broke the high the first 5 minutes. But I missed that and just kind of waited too late, and it kind of hurt a lot of the profit potential I had. But that was the first trade yesterday. The second trade I took was NXPI, and this was a reversal that I was looking at first, but it was kind of a stock going red to green or green to red, and I kind of took this trade basing it on this level here, right here at 81.70, and I got a nice move down. Took first profit at the 20, took the next off at the VWAP. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for it to come back and get VWAP. So that was a pretty good trade. I missed the run up. This was on my watch, but you can see the swings that this stock had. I mean, look at this candle. This is just untradeable. This is one of these stocks that move, but it's just not tradable. There's really no setup, no clear entry other than just throwing in and gambling and hoping that this thing goes up. So I've tried to wait for it to settle and give me a good entry, and this was what I based it off of here, was this red to green line, or green to red line, because once it broke back through here, it went green and then it came back and it started to go red, and that's what I based this trade off of. But the next one I took was WDC, and this was just a revenge trade that went bad. I missed this here. I was hesitant. This was a bottom reversal setup, and I was first looking at it off this level here, 45.94, and then we lost it, so I was looking at here at 45.64, and I was expecting this to come back and kind of touch this a little bit or get closer and give me a base off of this 45.64, but it didn't. This candle, when this candle printed, it looks like the candle that we like to have at the bottom of a bottom reversal. We either like to see a reversal hammer similar to this, or a doji, spinning top doji, whatever. A lot of these that symbolize that the stock's momentum is going to change. And I started to get in right here at 75 and had an order ready, but I didn't, and just held it and ended up missing this move. I would have been green on this trade had I gotten in where I wanted to. Excuse me, taking my profit here at the 9 moving average and got out at break even. But I completely missed it. So I waited for it to base here so I can take a trade off this level. Well, I got in a little bit below this level, or right at this level. Didn't really give it a time to test and hold, and I ended up getting stopped out. I actually got it here and didn't give it a time to really test this and come back. I bought it before the test. Because of this candle here, I was thinking, well, maybe it may not get to this, so I bought it here and never gave this any chance to test. And then once I got a move below this level, I went ahead and took it off, and it turned out to be a smart move. I probably could have held it and got out break even, but who's to know that this thing couldn't fade all the way back down. This was the next level here at 44.74, so I could have potentially lost $1 waiting on this to bounce, or lost more money had I not taken it off there. So this was just a classic case of revenge trading. Mad because I missed this move. I wanted to catch this, and I wasn't going to let it get away from me, and took it too early. The other problem is this 9 moving average. This is descending resistance, and as it's going down, this ticker is making lower highs, and it's not able to push through the 9. And when it's this close and there's no opportunity to get profit, there's no reason you should take this trade, because all it is a gamble that this is going to break through the 9 and move up. But I had the 9 moving average here. I had this level 45.94, which kind of held a significant level right here, because this held as resistance. So why in the world would I want to take this? But that was one of those trades where you just don't think about what you're doing. You see something, you see an opportunity, and you want to take it, and you're not putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. And that's what happened on that trade. But at the end of the day, we found a perfect bottom reversal. A perfect top reversal setup. And this made our day here. We had the parabolic move up right into resistance, and it failed to push through. Got a perfect entry here at 71. Really could have taken it earlier, because this, it had a wick to run up, but it couldn't close above this. This opened lower, and we got a little push up, but it failed. So I could have gotten in right at that point, but I waited, got in about 10 cents later, and got the move down to the 9 moving average. So we took profit at the 9 moving average. Got the next move down to the 20, and I was ready to take it off here at this level if in fact it started to base here and turn. But I got the 20 moving average, so got profit here. And I was holding the last piece to see if we would get, the fade all the way back to VWAP, which we did. I took the last piece off here. And this was a perfect top reversal. We had everything going for us. We had the ascending volume where the sellers just came in. The buyers just came in droves. And we exhausted the buyers on one big candle. And once they were exhausted, the sellers came in and they took over. And, this sold off. So we've had the perfect storm here and was able to take profit at each of the moving averages and then got the ultimate goal right here at VWAP. And that leads us into today. CPXX was on my watch from this morning, and I almost took this short right out of the gate. That's what I really wanted to do, because I felt this thing was going to wash out all the way back to the 1050 level, but kind of glad I didn't. I waited and got in. I got short here, but I got a starter position here because I was still unsure because of this candle here. We had this big wick down here, and if I wanted to take it at the 5-minute opening range breakdown, I would have had to wait until it got all the way down here in the 1070s before I could get in, but I didn't want to wait that long. So I went ahead and got short here, in the starter position, and we got a good move down, but it got bought right back up. This candle open, got another fade back down to the 1070s, the mid 1070s. Then it got bought right back up, and then the stock made a big move up. But because I was in the starter position, I just kind of held it. Wasn't really doing much of anything else. I knew, my threshold on this, and I knew it would have to run, up here into the 1120s in order for it to really reach my max loss. So I held on to it. Then when it came up and failed to push 1110 again, I went ahead and added and got in full size. And once I got in here, we got a nice wash, and I almost took profit here. My average was 1101.3 or something like that after I added, but it really wasn't at 2-to-1, and so I didn't take it, and it kind of pulled back up, and I was saying as long as it didn't fail, the 9, as long as it didn't push the 9, I was still going to be in. It couldn't get past it. Then we got this nice wash here, and I took off 3/4 of my position here because I wasn't sure how far this could go. And I saw the green to red line here, this is yesterday's close, and it would not, I didn't know if it would lose this completely, so I did take 3/4 of my position off here, and sure enough, it turned around and ran back up. It did lose the 9, but because I was still in that starter size and my average was now 1101, I could let this thing run and I can let it work. So we did get another flash down here, but it was too quick for me to even try to take the rest of it off. So I just, held on to it some more and ended up getting in another trade and almost forgot about this. So when I got back to looking at it, it was above the VWAP. It was above my average, but I was going to wait to see if it took out 1110. Because you look, that's 1110 was only 9 cents above my average, so that was just a drop in the bucket to what we made, on this move down here, which was what 38 cents, I believe. So ended up adding when it couldn't push. I added right here at 1103. I just added back my position, and we did get a nice wash, and I thought we were going to get it back down, to test this yesterday's close level, but we didn't. Got another push back up, still failed to push 1110, and as long as it didn't, I kept it on, and I'm actually holding overnight because I'm expecting it to gap down. If it gaps down significantly, then I will close it pre-market, but it never pushed 1110, and I really don't expect it to pre-market, but I'll be up early watching it to make sure it doesn't run away from me if it tries to gap up. But that was my trade on CPXX today. The last trade I took today was probably the worst trade of the week. Just broke a lot of rules, and when you do that, that's when you end up taking your most losses. You're gonna lose. The best traders are gonna lose 30 to 35% of the time, and that's what we gun for, what we aim for. And if we don't stick to our rules, then that's where these losers creep in, and that's where we get that extra 5 to 10% loss rate. But what keeps us in the game is our risk tolerance, our risk reward, making sure that we stick to our stops and that we set our stops within our risk tolerance. And in this case, I was looking for this to fade, and this is for me, this is a home run. From 46 down to 44, that's over almost a point and a half, not quite. But when I see that window and it's on a stock where you can get decent size, then to me this is a home run. And instead of waiting for a candle to close below the 20 and then the next one to confirm the loss of the 20, I got in and anticipated that this was going to break. And all we got was a wick. We got a wick on this. We got a wick on that. And all of this time, I'm thinking that, well, this is the time we're going to lose the 20. This is when we're going to lose it. This is when we're going to lose it. So I held it. I ended up adding right here, thinking that, hey, the 9 is coming down and squeezing this. And normally when the 9 comes down and the 20 is basing, we're going to get a move to the downside. But right here, the 20 started to tick up and the 9 started to tick up. Then I knew that this trade was pretty much dead. But I did hold just in case, because obviously this ticker was manipulated. Whatever, big time trader or big time mutual fund or whoever had a algo or algorithm that was trading off the 20 moving average, it beat this stock down. And this thing moved, it did nothing practically for an hour. And all you could see was, especially here, from 95 to 75, that's all I saw were orders going through from 75 to 95. Then you get a little push down, and then it would get bought right back up. So to me, this stock was very manipulated. And I've seen this, plenty of times. And I was reading the moving averages and trying to read the price action. And once it made that shift, I knew I should have gotten out there, gone ahead and took it there, but I waited and ended up taking it off a little bit higher than I wanted to. It was 46.10. So I ended up losing about 38 cents on this. Is what I ended up losing, 38 cents per share. It would have been worse had I not averaged up a little bit. When I added in, thankfully I was in, the size that I could add in. And I only had 1,000 shares on this. So, I started with 5 and added 5 here. And, was almost stupid enough to add again here, but I didn't. And just went ahead and took it off. So that was, a rule I broke. I didn't wait for the loss and the confirmation of the 9. All I was looking at was this clean green area in between here. I know I don't have the daily levels on here, but there were none in between this area here. This was clean. And it was a clean move back to the VWAP is what I was trying to get. But that pretty much ended my month. I still have CPXX that I'm probably going to exit out of tomorrow. I won't be trading. I'll probably be there for the first hour, but that's it. The rest of the day, I'll be out. I have to wire out anyway. It's the end of the month. And, well, actually, today was the end of the month. I should have done it today, but I said since I really won't be trading tomorrow, I'll go ahead and do it tomorrow and then hit the reset button for Tuesday. So I'll start Monday. I'll start Monday with a fresh start. And hopefully we can end up having a good month. This is kind of an overview of the month. The first week started out tough. Had 2 red days. Had a couple of 0 days in here. But overall, this really was a good month. This was my biggest day this year. This ranked up there in the top 5. So Monday was the biggest. Wednesday, when we caught that perfect top reversal, that's where all that came from. Today we just barely squeaked out being green. And, that was all because of CPXX and me adding in and taking off, 3/4 of the position when I got that fade. But we'll see how tomorrow runs. The only trade will be on here will be CPXX. I don't foresee myself taking anything else new tomorrow since I won't be around. But I hope everybody got something from this, that you saw my mistakes. Maybe it'll help you not make the same mistakes. But I think it's just one of those things where we do it over and over again. We may not do it for 3 months and we'll forget about it. And then we'll do it again. It's just the nature of the game, or the nature of the beast. This is the demon that we're fighting within ourselves. And that's what makes trading difficult. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and everybody would be making money. So it's not easy, but if you stick with it, continue to review your charts, do your homework at night, and put the time in. Eventually, it comes around. Some people it takes 3 months, some people it takes 3 years. It just depends on how bad you want it and how much of yourself you're willing to put in it. But that's all I have for today. Remember, if you haven't caught some of the Digital Stock Summit, it's a free. It's free. You just go to digitalstocksummit.com and register, and you have 24 hours to view all the presentations from that day. And if you like it and if you think it's something that you can use continuously, then it's well worth buying a subscription so that you have access, unlimited access to it, you know, from now until the internet goes away, which I don't think is ever going to happen. So just check it out if you haven't. And everybody have a great evening, a great night, or a great morning if you're on the other side of the world. And we'll see you tomorrow in chat.